Life is a journey, a complex tapestry woven with moments of joy, challenges, and profound lessons. Often we find ourselves clinging to ideas, people, or paths that we believe are meant for us. Yet there are times when doors close unexpectedly, relationships dissolve, or dreams seem to fade away. In those moments, it can feel as though the world is working against us. But let me tell you something, there is power and purpose in every loss, every detour, and every no. God, the ultimate architect of our lives, has a plan so intricate, so perfectly tailored to you that even the rejections, the heartbreaks, and the setbacks are pieces of a greater masterpiece. When something is not meant for you, no force on earth can make it stay. And while this truth can sting, it is also liberating. Imagine holding on to something that isn't aligned with your destiny, something that is hindering your growth, your joy, your potential. God, in His infinite wisdom, removes these obstacles not to punish you, but to guide you towards something greater. What we often perceive as a loss is, in reality, a redirection, a divine intervention to lead you to the path you are truly meant to walk. Think about it. If you were to keep every opportunity, every relationship, and every ambition that you've ever pursued, your hands would be too full to grasp what is truly meant for you. The closed doors, the unanswered prayers, and the unexpected endings are not there to defeat you. They are there to refine you, to teach you resilience, and to prepare you for the abundance that awaits on the other side of your faith. You see, God's plan is not limited by your understanding. His vision stretches far beyond what you can see or comprehend in this moment. He knows the desires of your heart, even the ones you've buried deep down. And more than that, He knows what you need to fulfill your purpose. Sometimes the very thing you think you want is the thing that would hold you back. Sometimes the people you try so hard to keep in your life are the ones who would dim your light. And sometimes the path you are so desperate to take is the one that leads nowhere. Trusting God means believing that His plan is always for your good, even when it doesn't feel good in the moment. Faith is not about having all the answers, it's about trusting the one who does. It's about releasing control, letting go of the need to understand why things happen the way they do, and choosing to believe that every setback is a setup for something greater. It's about surrendering your timeline for His, knowing that His timing is never late and His provision is always enough. When God exposes what isn't meant for you, it's not a punishment, it's a blessing. It's an opportunity to align yourself with His will, to step into the life He has prepared for you, a life filled with purpose, joy, and peace. But here's the catch: you have to let go of what isn't meant for you to make room for what is. You can't receive the new if you're clinging to the old. You can't step into the future while holding on to the past. Letting go requires courage, faith, and trust. It requires you to release the grip of fear and embrace the promise of God's faithfulness. This process of letting go is not easy. It will test you. It will stretch you. It will challenge everything you thought you knew, but it will also transform you. It will make you stronger, wiser, and more resilient. It will deepen your faith and open your eyes to the limitless possibilities that exist when you align yourself with God's will. And most importantly, it will bring you closer to the person you were created to be. Remember, rejection is not the end of the road, it's a redirection. Loss is not the final chapter, it's the beginning of a new story. When God removes something from your life, it's because He is preparing you for something better. It might not make sense now. It might hurt. It might feel like everything is falling apart. But one day, you will look back and see that everything was falling into place. So don't be afraid to let go. Don't be afraid to trust the process. Don't be afraid to step into the unknown, because what God has for you is greater than anything you could ever imagine. It is beyond your wildest dreams. It is more than enough. And it is waiting for you just on the other side of your faith. Keep moving forward. Keep trusting. Keep believing. The best is yet to come. You are a work in progress, a masterpiece in the making. Every experience, every triumph, and every trial is a stroke of the divine brush painting the canvas of your life. When you think of the times God has removed something or someone from your life, reflect not on the pain, but on the transformation that followed. Every closed door forced you to look for new opportunities. Every broken relationship taught you more about yourself. Every unanswered prayer reminded you of your resilience and your ability to rise again. These moments weren't designed to break you, they were designed to build you. The most profound growth often comes from the most challenging seasons. When God exposes what isn't meant for you, He is also exposing you to a deeper understanding of yourself and your purpose. This exposure often comes in layers, peeling away the false narratives, insecurities, and limiting beliefs that keep you stuck. It's in these moments of shedding and releasing that you discover the strength and clarity to move forward. It's here, in the midst of uncertainty and surrender, that God does his most transformative work in you. Think of it like this: a seed buried in the soil doesn't fear the darkness. It doesn't fight the process of breaking open. It simply trusts the natural order, knowing that its potential is far greater than its current state. Likewise, you must trust the process of growth, even when it feels like you're buried under disappointment, confusion, or loss. Because what feels like the end is often the beginning of something new, a season of blooming, flourishing, and stepping into the fullness of who you were created to be. But to bloom, you must first release. Release the bitterness of missed opportunities. Release the pain of relationships that didn't last. Release the fear of not knowing what's next. Release the idea that your worth is tied to what you've lost. Instead, anchor yourself in the truth that what is meant for you will not pass you by. God's plans are not subject to human limitations. His purpose for your life is unshakable, unchangeable, and unstoppable. Sometimes the hardest part of the journey is trusting what you cannot see. Faith isn't about walking a well-lit path. It's about taking the next step, even when the road ahead is unclear. It's about believing in the promise of the sunrise, even in the darkest of nights. And let me remind you, the same God who created the stars to light up the heavens is the God who lights up your path. He hasn't brought you this far to leave you. He hasn't allowed the challenges in your life without equipping you with the strength to overcome them. Your journey is unique. Don't compare your path to anyone else's. Don't measure your progress against someone else's timeline. God's plans for you are as individual as your fingerprints, intricately designed to reflect the beauty and purpose of your soul. What may look like a detour to you is, in fact, a divine rerouting, steering you away from harm and towards the abundant life He has prepared for you. And abundance doesn't always mean material wealth or worldly success. True abundance is peace in your heart, joy in your spirit, and fulfillment in your soul. It's knowing that you are exactly where you're meant to be, even when it doesn't look like you expected. It's the freedom to embrace the journey, trusting that every step, whether forward, backward, or sideways, is part of the divine choreography of your life. As you move forward, don't dwell on what you've lost. Focus on what you're gaining. Every lesson, every insight, every moment of clarity is a gift. Even in the pain, there is purpose. Even in the waiting, there is preparation. God doesn't waste a single moment of your life. He uses everything, the good, the bad, and the seemingly insignificant, to shape you into the person He created you to be. So, when you feel tempted to cling to what isn't meant for you, remember this: holding on to what's not for you only delays the arrival of what is. Trust that God's timing is perfect, His plans are good, and His love for you is unwavering. Trust that the no's and not yet's are paving the way for the yeses, and the more than you could ever imagine. You are on a journey of becoming wiser, becoming stronger, becoming more aligned with the purpose that was placed in you before you were even born. Every step, every stumble, and every victory is part of the process. Embrace it, trust it, and most importantly, trust the one who is guiding you through it all. In the end, you'll see that everything you went through was worth it. The heartbreaks, the losses, the detours, they were all preparing you for the life that was always meant to be yours. A life filled with love, purpose, and peace. A life where you are free to be fully, unapologetically you. So keep the faith. Keep moving forward. The best is not behind you, it's ahead of you. And when you get there, you'll look back and realize that every step, every tear, and every prayer was worth it, because God's plans for you are always greater than your own. Always.